All right, so here we are in the second stage of our tutorial. And one of the things that we did not do on the last one was to save. So we haven't named this and we haven't saved it. If you click on it, it's going to ask me, do you want to purge unused items? Let's go ahead and purge all. That's fine. We want to save our project here in SketchUp. And then I'm going to call this tutorial. I don't know. Let's say tutorial step 1. And then save here. And it's saving, and now you can see over here that it is saved with that name. So now that we've saved that, let's go ahead and take the next step, which is we're going to paint the room, and we're going to add some trim and kind of bundle things neatly together. To do that, first step I would say is to press the space bar so we get back to our selection tool. I could even say that I don't necessarily need the dimensions now that we have everything together. I could use my eraser and just click and drag to get rid of those. Or there are ways that you could make a tag where you could display that and hide it if you wanted to. There was one other thing we wanted to do, which was to clean up this bottom because those walls are actually sort of open. It's not necessary, but I think it's a good step. So let's press our L tool, click on an end point here, and then maybe go out to the corner like that. And then you could even erase that line, but let's go to the opposite corner and click, and there we have closed up the bottom, so it's a lot neater now. One other thing I can tell you that I'd like to do is to zoom into these door frames. There is actually a line, so I'm going to press E and click and drag across that and get rid of it, because when we put the carpet in, I want that to go into this middle area as well. Click and drag over here, and now everything is nice and clean. I'll go ahead and save this one right now. It's going to say purge all, and that's fine. First of all, let's go ahead and get to painting. That should be fun. To do that, we're going to use the bucket tool over here, which has a shortcut of B. So paint, you can't really use P, because we're using it for push-pull, so paint bucket, just remember B. We'll select that, and it will open up our materials over here on the right-hand side. I'm going to click on the second icon that's up here and choose colors. Well, my friend Jill actually did her studio in this really lovely celery color, so I can just select a color and maybe paint some walls. Again, if I press on my scroll wheel and move around, I can paint without having to switch between orbit and bucket and orbit and bucket. You're just able to do that very seamlessly. Well, she doesn't like the green, so let's say maybe we want that to be this purple color, kind of a cornflower. So I'll click and click and click and click. There's some other commands that you can use that will make it basically paint everything, but I just want to paint these individual walls for right now. Now let's give it some carpet. So if I hover over here and scroll, I can go back to my colors and close it, open carpet and fabrics, and I could choose this nice leafy carpet. Click and it will put that in there. You could even maybe, try some different colors. Depends on what look you're going for, but I kind of like the leafy carpet, so we'll leave that. There we have painted our little room. But we need some trim, and I want the trim to be white. Let's go ahead and talk about bundling this up into a group. First of all, you want to press the space bar because that will take it back to the selection tool. I'm using my scroll wheel, pushing to orbit, and let's click once on a wall. Well, when I do that, you'll see it has this little pattern on it, and that tells me that that surface is actually selected. If I double click, it's going to select both the surface and any connected edges. But if I triple click, 1, 2, 3, it selects everything. Now, if I were to start adding furniture to this or, making some other objects, it's going to be glued to this. I need to group this neatly so I can go in and add other things. Right click and choose Make Group. And when I do that, you'll see it has this other line that appears. That's called a bounding box. But when I do that, now everything is really neat and I can add some stuff to it, move it around, and this is going to be contained. But let's scroll over here with our scroll wheel, and I want to make some trim around this window. Because this is grouped, I can come in and actually add trim that's not connected to the model, and that's fine because we can paint them independently. Let's switch over here to our rectangle tool. You're going to click on a corner and release, click on the opposite corner and release, and that gives us a rectangle, which we then can use our offset. Press F for offset. You're going to click and release and move outwards and type 2.75 and hit enter. We don't need this center part anymore, so let's press the space bar, select that center part, and then press the delete key or backspace. And because we want this to have dimension, you can see how it's sort of sparkly and doing some weird stuff. That's because this is an object that is in the same plane as the wall, so we need to give it some dimension and depth. Press P, click release, pull outward, doesn't matter how far, and then type 0.5 and press enter. That gives us essentially something that looks like a door frame. Now, if you were really picky about stuff, you could press the space bar and you could come in here with a line tool and make these, mitered corners or however it is that you want, but not necessary. But now we need to group this and make it into its own group. So press the space bar because we're selecting something. Triple click, 1, 2, 3, right click and make it a group. So now we have the trim that's over on this side. What that means though is that I could close the carpet and fabrics and go to colors, and I could say maybe I want, orange trim. I could use my paint bucket and I could make just the trim orange. It's hideous, so let's undo. Now I'm going to use my scroll wheel, press it and rotate around. This time I'm going to do something a little bit different, but I am going to, let's see, what's the best way to do that? Let's make it line tool. And I am going to basically trace over the outside of this. So click, release, click, release, click, release, click, release. And then I don't want to draw anymore, so I'm going to hit the space bar. So that just kind of stops drawing or stops an operation. Now I'm going to select this first line, use a shift key, and that didn't do it. Went to the wrong one. Need to get a different view, so I'm gonna, no, didn't like it. There it is. So I can see the blue line. It's a little bit more difficult to see. Oh, I don't know where I am, so Shift Z. Use my scroll wheel and these are still selected. Press F for offset. Click on the edge. And I didn't want to do that. That didn't work. Click release and then move out 2.75 and hit return. Now this one, if I switch to push-pull, it won't let me do anything. And the reason is because this isn't a surface. I need to connect these lines at the bottom. Press L for line. You're going to click and then click on the endpoint, hit the space bar, line, click on an endpoint, and there you can see that it's now solid. Use push-pull, click release and come out 0.75. Oh, nope, it was 0.5. Click 3 times, right click and make it a group. And so there's our door frame right there. We're going to do this one more time. And this time we could do it a different way. We could do it with a rectangle. So press R for rectangle, click, and then come to this other corner. But remember, we have the extra lines, we have the surface. We can still press F for offset, click and come out 2.75 and hit return. Press the space bar and delete the center. But we need to also come in here and delete this line at the bottom. Oh, no, that didn't work. Here, let's add lines down at the bottom. Here we go. Click, 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 click. And then we can use our push-pull. We're going to click, come out, 0.5, and hit return. And I think I can still, yeah, I can delete that one line, triple click, right click, and make it a group. And I guess the test on that one too, it does have extra stuff under here. So since we made this a group, it's a little bit messy. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's click on this line. We're going to double click on this line, or even on that frame, and just use our eraser to clean this up. That wasn't an ideal way of doing it, but you get the idea. Press spacebar and click somewhere else. So that gives us our trim, but now we need to neatly package this together. We need to group these all together. So we're going to click once on the room, zoom in, use your shift key and click. Click on this other frame. I'm zooming out, using my scroll wheel to click and drag, and then use the shift key to add this one. So with all of these together, we're going to right click and choose Make Group. So now these are all contained in one object. So I just clicked elsewhere to deselect, and let's take a closer look. If I click this, and then let's say I press M for the move key, I can click and move this whole thing around. I'm just going to hit the space bar to stop. Everything is grouped together, but let's say that I need to come in and I need to maybe paint a door frame. I can double click on this, and what it does is it kind of temporarily breaks it apart for editing, and then I can go choose the door frame, and then I might be able to paint it with a hideous yellow like this. Even though these are bound together, I can temporarily break them apart to edit different parts. But right now it's one unit. Last but not least, we'll right click and we're going to lock this in place, because now when we start creating furniture and adding things, I don't want this to move or to be modified at all. That is how I can add the icing on the cake on my little drawing. And so we'll stop here, and in the next tutorial we're going to start adding objects.